Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Trending Thursday here on YouTube. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always my pleasure to be here. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation. I'm going to say it close. VV Nation. Was that creepy? Was that creepy, Joey? Joey says it was creepy. By the way, sitting on the right-hand side of me, riding side saddle, is my producer, Joey. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There we go. So here we go. For those people who are brand new today, thank you for showing up for Trending Thursday here on YouTube Live. If you've never seen me on camera, you got to see me on camera now, live. This ain't Memorex. And what do we do here? We talk about what news is making, what stocks are making the news. We analyze them and help you to make a good decision on what's hot and what's not. That's what we do. And we always start off with market timing as a way to segue into what's going on. Why? Because the market's direction affects about 80% of the stocks within the market. You always have to be on the right side of the market. You could be in the best stock in the world, and if the market's going down, you're going to be in a world of hurt. You're going to be in a hurt locker, not a what's the other locker? Oh, it doesn't matter. You're going to be in a hurt locker. By the way, I'm not drinking Cafe Bustelo today. I'm drinking Starbucks coffee, and Joey put espresso in here. So hold on tight. Keep your hands and your feet in the rides at all time. It's going to be a good one. Woo! All right. So I'm pumped up. I'm ready to rock and roll. Well, thank you. Jake says Glenn is one handsome devil. You think I'm a handsome devil?
His screen's broke.
His screen is broke. Joey said your screen is broke. Wow. All right. So really, Mark says, what's Memorex? Are you a boomer? Actually, if you're a boomer, you would know what that meant. All right. So let's get hot in here. It's hot in here for real, Joey. I'm starting to sweat. Well, that could be the espresso, too. Yeah, you think it's the espresso? It's hot. Looks good. Okay, good. So, way to go. Wow, nicely done. All right, let's get hot and heavy into market timing. I'm going to move you over here. There we go. Let's get into market timing. And again, for those people who are brand new to the channel, we time the market. Here at VectorVest, we time the market. We have different market timing signals to accommodate every type of investor in the market. All right. To learn more about that, and you want to get that kind of information, you need to be a subscriber to the software. And I'm a big believer of, we give you a beautiful opportunity to take advantage of the software, 99 cents for 30 days. Everything that I show here in this presentation gives you an opportunity to do it for 99 cents. Now, don't listen to me. Listen to the people in the room. I do this every week. Listen to the subscribers in the room to the software. Let them tell you if it's worth 99 cents or not. All right? So I can just tell it to you, but let the people in the room tell you. As far as stocks that are coming up that you want me to take a look at, I will look at them at the end of the session. Right now, I've got pre-planned stocks out here for you, starting off with market timing. All right. So on the market timing graph, we can clearly see what's going on with all of the major indices. All of the major indices are up bigly today. Yes, I said bigly, and it's a word. Joey confirmed that. They're all up bigly. Everything is up in excess of 1%. The biggest mover is the NASDAQ, up over 2.5% today. The market is kicking butt and taking names. That's what's going on. It is kicking butts, taking names. It's a good day. Let's move over to our color guard. Our color guard is a good visual representation on how to manage your stocks by way of use it like a traffic light. What's the main color you see in here? Yellow. What does yellow mean? Slow down. Even though we've got green and red popping up, the majority of the color you see in here is yellow. If not for anything else, just using that traffic light is a great way to just help manage your portfolio, and it keeps you from panicking selling. A lot of people, when the market started going down, panic sold. But our market timing calls were saying it's a good time to be short in the market, and then all of a sudden, the market started bolting back up again. And we're going to talk about why the market is bolting back up again. There is some news behind what's going on in the market. John says Glenn's birthday is in March. My birthday already passed, John. My birthday already passed. Glenn's, what stock are you holding for long term? What do you consider most important thing to hold a stock for more than a year? Leonardo, that's a great question. Right now, I'm holding really one stock long term, and it's on speculation. Actually, it happens to be XROF. That's the only stock that I'm really holding long term because it is an industry disruptor. Long term, holding a stock for that long, in my estimation, does look at things like earnings growth and earnings per share, and if a stock pays a dividend. Those are the three things that I look at to hold a stock long term. I want to make sure that if I own the stock, that I have capital appreciation, that the company is doing well enough that it pays me a dividend, and that from an earnings perspective, it is growing in earnings because that's what makes it attractive to other investors besides myself. So those are the things that I look for holding a stock long term. That's what I look for. All right, that's a great question. I appreciate that, Leonardo. That really was a good question. Go long on MasterCard and Amazon. Well, we'll take a look at some of those stocks. So from a market timing perspective, we see that it's okay to be long in the market. Our shortest, the shortest, fastest indicator we have, the primary wave, is up and has been now for the last 2 days. That's for our short-term investors. I'm looking for the DEW to go back up. Of course, I'm looking for the long-term investor for the confirmed call to go back up. That'll happen when it happens. But for those people who are more aggressive traders, the primary wave, which is the week-over-week movement of the VectorVest composite, is up. Now, that's what's going on the homepage once you open it up. Let's start getting into the news of why we're moving in that direction. So, big thing. Ta-da! COVID relief bill, stimulus. You got to move me, Joey. Am I in the right spot? Doesn't matter. They can still read it, right? Joey says I'm all right. Biden to sign signature COVID relief bill on Friday. That's huge. Now, what does that do? I think it's more than just the COVID bill, the money. The money is going to be used for Americans who need the money because they're out of work, the whole 9 yards. What else does the stimulus bill do? Well, for those of people who have been blessed enough, like Joey and I, to still continue working through in COVID, that puts more money into the economy. That does help the economy to grow. If you're going to put $1,400 in my hands, what am I going to do? Well, I could go buy more stock, or I could go get some of the things that I couldn't get without the money. So just a couple of things to look for or look at. That bill, we just spent another $2 trillion worth of debt, though. That's the other side of it. All right, so I'm looking at both sides of the fence. We got an enormous amount of debt out there. There's no getting around it, all right? There is no getting around it, and that is that. But people need the money, all right? Nobody's got control over the pandemic, that it happened, and that people got put in the situations that they're in. So the COVID bill is there out there from that perspective. What else is going on here? And this is going to be part of another story, all right, that I've got going on today. Part of that bill, U.S. extends $14 billion lifeline to airlines in the third government aid package. That's a lot of money to the airlines, who have been one of the hardest hit industries because of the pandemic. People ain't flying them. So that's going to match up into another story in regards to, is it time to be in travel stocks yet? All right. And this is another one. Jobs growth surge in February on hiring jumps in restaurants and bars. As the company is starting to get back into opening up, bars and restaurants are starting to say, we need people. Hell, me and Joey might go work at a restaurant. We can do that, right? Yo, we can do that on the side, right?
Yeah, right after we get out of here.
Right after we get out of here, we go to the bar. And, well, wait a minute. That's the different way of going to the bar. That's not.
Yes.
No, we're not doing that. No.
On the other side.
No, we're going to be on the other side of the bar. But as people are starting to get back out, my wife and I have had the opportunities to go out and eat. As a matter of fact, we went at the Hickory Tavern last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, when you go to the restaurant, though, they are, they've got less capacity because they're making every other table available. As the country starts to open up again, those people that got laid off because of the pandemic, they're trying to get them back. And that, again, helps to stimulate the economy. Bar workers can't drink while working. I know, right? So we can't work. Listen, you sit back. It's not, Joff, it won't work for us. What do you mean? I can't drink while I'm working? Yeah, it's not going to work for us. All right, but job growth because of these restaurants and the bars is huge. All right, so these are some of the things that are helping to push the market push the market higher. We're going back to challenging all-time highs on the market again. All right, and I have, and this is just a side note. All right, so the market pulled back. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you my side note in a second when we get back into the software. All right, so we get into the software. Let's go look at my watch list of stocks that we're looking at today. The two stocks that I look at for market, if you're a subscriber to the VectorVest software, we look at the VectorVest composite. And if you're not a subscriber to the software, we also have the S&P 500 or the spiders. All right, so these are the two indicators. We already know that the market's moving higher. We already now know why the market is starting to move higher. Let's go look at the market as a whole on either one of these indices. So I'm going to right-click, view the stock graph. Let's pop that up. I always love to look at a 3-month graph. For everybody who ever asks me that question, why, is because what happens every 3 months on the stock or even in the market, earnings. Earnings is the biggest mover of a stock market and stocks within the market. Here's the VectorVest composite. The VectorVest composite is an index arithmetic average of the over 8,500 stocks that we track, okay? I've got a 20-day exponential moving average. When the market fell, it fell below. Good opportunity to get out. Anybody know what this candlestick pattern is? Type it in the room. How much a delay we have? None? Okay. What's that candlestick pattern? Type it in the room. Anybody? Bueller. All right, nobody's typing in anyway. It is a hammer. Now, it's a couple of different bullish candlestick patterns. It's a hammer. What else is it? It is, not a, really, Jay? Jay says it's a bullish hernia. No. That's funny. It's a bullish harami. It's a bullish harami. Really, Jay? You said that? Excuse me. It is a bullish. So two bullish candlestick patterns in one. All right. What did the market do? Man, learning to read technical analysis on a stock or even in the market can prove to be a very good complement to getting in and out of the market. I love that. All right. Not only that, the reversal came in. We're above the 20-day exponential moving average. Nice open candle today. Volume has been pretty steady. That's on the VectorVest composite, again, which looks at the movement of 8,500 stocks. Let's go look at the S&P 500. How about not only did it have a little bit of a hammer formation here, all right, had a beautiful level of support sitting at 378.35. It did go below it for 1 day and then came back up, but currently above the 20-day exponential moving average. Volume is okay. Nice open candle with a little bit of hair at the top. Brian, what is it? Brian, who's my guy with the hair? Jesse, are you here? Jesse, are you here? Jesse got me thinking that the hair, the wicks at the top of the candle are the hair, and the wick at the bottom of the candle is the tail. All right, so wow, 1 bar. That's good. I like that. SPY is a white soldier pattern. No, that a white soldier is a candle. That's a white soldier. That's a white soldier pattern right there. It encompasses some of the prior candle and keeps moving higher. It's a continuation move without follow through here. What else is here? That's a white soldier pattern right there as well and had confirmation. That's just a continuation of an up move. All right, that's just a continuation of, oh, you are here, Joff, which is Jesse. All right, so yeah, Jesse talks about the hair and the tail. I didn't take the deuce signal short while that was a whipsaw. And John, it was. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why no matter what market timing call you use, you always want confirmation. So based upon the news of what's going on in the market, keeping the market moving higher, looking at the market both on the S&P 500 and the VectorVest composite gives you more confirmation that the market is moving higher at this particular point in time. And again, the spiders, go back to a 10-year graph, the spiders hit an all-time new high on the S&P 500. You can't fight the tape. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't fight the tape. The market's still moving higher. All right, before we get to the next story, does anybody have any questions? And I got you. I know what you want me to do. Does anybody have any questions in regards to what's going on in the market and how to take advantage of it? Good reason, a good segue into what to do. Take the market as the day goes. If the market's giving you an opportunity to buy stocks, do so. The market's not looking toppy right now. It is coming off of a most recent top, but let the market come to you. If it's going up, you notice that everything in my watch list today, for the most part, is going up. The market timing graph shows overvalued and has shown that for quite a while. Also, the spread between the price and the value is getting wider apart. Is that significant in our trading? Bill, let me give you a good reason why the market's overvalued. Where do people normally put their money to save? Well, that's a stupid question because it's the bank. What's not going on at the bank? All right, anybody want to answer that question? What's not going on at the bank? Why are people not putting money in the bank? All right, let's go. Anybody? I want to see if anybody's got anything to say as I drink my coffee. What's not going on in the bank? Interest rates. Interest rates are still at historically low. All right, and because of that, money goes where money grows. If you're not making money in the bank, where are you going to put your money? In the stock market. So, Bill, that is why the market is overvalued from that perspective and why the disparity between the two are growing. More and more people are putting money in the market. I see a lot coming up about bond yields as well. That's another reason why people are putting money in the market. So does that bode well into my analysis? It is what it is. The market's moving higher, and if you're afraid to buy stocks that are overvalued, you may be missing out on a lot of opportunities. But I don't say not to keep it in mind. And if you're in a stock that's overvalued, you just manage it a little differently. All right, you just manage it a little differently. All right, any other questions on what's going on in the market? Everybody is broke and can't save money. I ain't gonna say, Joey, you broke? Joey says he's broke. I'm not broke. I'm good. You know, but a lot of people might be broke and it's tough to save money. But where even the people that are broke, if they've got some money, where are they putting it? They're still more so putting it in the market. All right, before I move on to my next story, I want to let you guys know that we always got something good going on at VectorVest. We have currently a new course. How many of you are interested in options or learning how to play options? How many of you are very, if you have kids, you're broke. I hear you, Jay. How many people are wanting to learn how to not only trade options, but to consistently make money in options? Anybody? Talk to me. Anybody? And if anybody is going to say me, we do have an options course for those people who are subscribers to the software. It's called the Options Jumpstarter. This is specifically for the brand new investor in the market, especially for the brand new person in the market. It takes 6 weeks to profitable options tradings. We will walk you through what a call is, what a put is, how they work. And if you're really wanting to really dive down and learn about options, Joey put the link in the room for you to take advantage of. Click on that link. All right. I don't know how much it is. Do you know how much it is, Joey? Oh, there it is. How to trade covered calls. You get a bonus. Hold on, mastery students only. Valued $7.95. I don't like selling stuff in here because I want to teach you about stuff, but there it is. Self-study package, $295 for a full options learning, and then the mastery package, which gives you more live sessions, $495. 6 weeks, folks. If you want to learn about options, it's here. For $295, that's not a bad way to learn everything you need to know about how to trade options. And listen to the people in the room as well who have taken the course. Glenn, can the software help me find good sell put options? Absolutely, Leonardo. Think about it. If you're going to sell puts, what do you want the stock's price to do? All right, you want them to go up. Why not use the Unisearch tool to find that and find those stocks that have good premiums? All right, so there you go. And JP says do the mastery. The mastery is a little bit more expensive, but JP is right on board to do the mastery. All right, so there is a covered call section in the module as well. So just think about it. I'm putting that out there, especially for the people who are interested in learning more about options. All right. Let's get to my next story, which is all about coronavirus. Ta-da. Oh, did he sign it? Oh, Biden's, I thought he was going to sign it tomorrow. But it shows here, breaking news. I'm going to bring that up real quick. I need to go back. Biden signed it. He signed it a day earlier. All right, and there we go. I thought it was going to be, everybody was on board with me. I thought he was going to sign it tomorrow, but it looks like breaking news, he signed it today. All right, he signed it today. All right, that was breaking news, so I just want to go back to my story, though. In regards to coronavirus, a lot of people are getting inoculated. As anybody, if you want to put it out there, have any of you taken your shots for COVID vaccine? You don't have to put that out there if you don't want to. I'm just asking for commentary here because I'm just curious. I'm in the process of going through the VA to get my shots. All right? No, JP, it was Joe. It was Joe. All right, so how about Pfizer COVID vaccine blocks 94% of asymptomatic infections and 97% of symptomatic cases in Israeli study? Pfizer was the first one to the field for COVID-19. It's rocking and rolling. The stock isn't, though. And, a lot of what I've been saying about why Pfizer hasn't been going up, look at the earnings growth rate on Pfizer. Something ain't happening in the company. It's a big company, but they're growing their earnings at a negative clip. That doesn't bode well for the stock. But as a company putting this vaccine out, it's one of the main companies out there that have the vaccine. But the vaccine is a darn good vaccine. It's a darn good vaccine. Moderna, which has been my stock of choice in COVID-19, they start dosing in a study evaluating the booster vaccine candidates. Why? Because there's different variants of the coronavirus coming out of the UK and out of South Africa. And a lot of people are very nervous about the UK variant. It's a lot more, it's bad. Did you just do what I thought you did?
No.
Okay. So it's a bad variant, and Moderna is already bringing up booster shots to go against the different variants. All right. So announces the first participants have been dosed with the company's modified vaccine designed to address the potential need for booster candidates in an amendment to the ongoing phase 2 clinical study. All right. So that's, they're trying to get out ahead of this as best they can. And now, you remember, there's 3 companies that are out there right now. We've got Pfizer, we got Moderna, we got Johnson & Johnson. And I said that the next one most likely was going to be AstraZeneca because they look like they were the fastest. They're already approved in the EU. All right, they're already approved in the EU. They haven't been approved here in the U.S. But look at this. Several European countries suspend AstraZeneca vaccine use over blood clot concerns. That's going to make it even tougher for them to be the number 4 in the U.S. until they can figure out what this is all about. Health authorities in Denmark, Norway, and Iceland have suspended the use of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine amid reports of blood clots in people after receiving the shots. Now, the shots that are approved over here in the U.S. haven't had anything like that go on. So AstraZeneca is now running up against headwinds in order to get approved over in the U.S. All right, so we'll see what happens with it. But I thought that was a big enough story, especially though I'm touting that they're going to be number 4. Let's get back into the software. Let's take a look at these stocks. So before I go on to the next stocks that I'm going to look at, for those of you who are brand new, I'm looking at 15 stocks overall in our watch list of stocks for today's stories. These stocks are just not in here willy-nilly. They are sorted by our master indicator VST. This is the best combination of value, safety, and timing, and the stocks that have the best combination of those 3 will automatically migrate to the top of the list, sorted all the way down. So let's go find Moderna. Look at that. Out of the 15, it's the top in the top 4. What else is in here? Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer. What's my other one, Joey? Oh, AstraZeneca. Did I not put AstraZeneca in here? I need to put AstraZeneca in here. AZM. Wow. All right, let's do this again. Moderna. Joey said it's hard to find good help. Really, Joey? All right, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer. Where's my other one? Oh, there it is. There it is. So here's the 4 stocks. Moderna, by way of our master indicators, at the top of the list, following, and Pfizer's at the bottom. And again, Pfizer's the only one out of these companies that have negative earnings growth rate. They are growing their earnings at a negative pace. All right. Moderna, let's start analyzing it. Reason why I've really liked Moderna over the full time period, it's trading at 139 with a value of 333. This is one of the only ones in this space that is undervalued. I like that. It's got good upside potential. Relative value shows me the stock's long-term upside potential over the next 1 to 3 years as compared to a AAA corporate bond. Short meaning, this stock, Moderna, should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 88% over the next 1 to 3 years. Relative safety, it's an indicator of risk. Now, these indicators are cast on a scale between 0 and 2. We make it real easy. The indicator is above 1, it's favorable. Below 1, unfavorable. Moderna is not that risky of a stock. What's hurting it right now? Relative timing. The stock, RT, looks at the short-term price trend. The stock's in a downtrend. Look at Johnson & Johnson. Trading at 160, value of 184. Also undervalued. Upside potential? Yeah. This stock should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 13%. How about Johnson & Johnson, which has been around a lot longer than Moderna? It's got a much higher safety ranking. What's hurting it right now? RT is below 1. AstraZeneca, trading at 48, value of 55, also undervalued. Upside potential there? Yep, this should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 35%. But AstraZeneca is a little bit more risky of a trade. And it's in a downtrend. Pfizer, we're going to call that fairly valued, trading at 34 with a value of 33. Upside potential? Nope. This stock should not outperform a AAA corporate bond. Safety? Nope. It's below 1, so this is a little bit more risky stock. RT above 1? Nope. Below 1, so the stock's in a downtrend. And again, as I look at the earnings per share, every single one of these companies have good earnings, and our earnings is forecasted out a year. But this is the only company that has negative earnings growth rate. They are growing their earnings at a negative clip, and that affects the stock a lot worse than everything else. All right, so with that, I've analyzed them. I did them really quickly. All right, let's right-click on the stocks that are highlighted, view the stock graph. Let's go look at them. Moderna. All right, Moderna, beautiful move, pulled back. This was a tough time to hold and sit through Moderna. How about utilizing that 20-day exponential moving average is a good way to know when to get out of a stock? Would that have been a good opportunity to capture profits? Absolutely. What am I looking for now? Nice up day today. How about we wait for the stock to get back above the 20-day exponential moving average? Look at the earnings per share, higher than it was 3 months ago. Look at the earnings growth rate, much higher than it was 3 months ago. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Tough time to sit through it here. That would have been a good opportunity to get out and wait for another buying opportunity, which could be presenting itself soon. All right. Let's go look at the next stock, which is Johnson & Johnson. This is the one dose shot, all right, and less refrigeration. I like the Johnson. I don't think that the efficiency, the effectiveness is as good as Pfizer or Moderna, but I like the idea of just one shot. I like the idea it could become more accessible to people because it is less refrigeration. Currently, look at that, right at the 20-day exponential moving average after bouncing off a serious level of support at 151.39. I like it. Volume's been pretty steady. Woo, look at the earnings per share, though. Still positive, but lower than it was 3 months ago, and earnings growth rate is about even to where it was 3 months ago. I'd rather be in a stock that's got rising earnings because that is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. All right, let's go look at the next stock, which is Pfizer. Pfizer with that negative earnings growth rate really, really hurts. But their earnings are higher than they were 3 months ago, but the earnings growth is negative. They're not growing. Now, excuse me, what I do like, bouncing off a level of support, the stock is currently above the 20-day exponential moving average. Would I buy today? No. It's a down day. It's a red candle. I'd rather buy only when the stock is priced. So yesterday would have been a good day to buy. Today, I would still leave it alone if I owned it. It is above the 20-day exponential moving average. All right, and my last stock is AstraZeneca. A lot more volatile, a lot more wild swings. If this is not a stock that you can deal with, then maybe you look at one of the other stocks. But Look at that. Look how erratic it is. Bounced off support, ran up above the 20 exponential moving average, and now today is below it. A lot more erraticacity. That's a good word, right? Erraticacity. Write it down. A lot more erraticacity in the stock and the movement around. A lot more volatile stock. So there's my story on coronavirus. I like Moderna still. When I looked at the graphs, let me do that again. When I look at the graphs, Moderna's setting up. I'm not ready to take it yet. It's setting up. Love the earnings and the earnings growth. Which ones did look? I do like that Johnson & Johnson is right at that level. I might not be afraid to buy that stock now above. Maybe I just want to make sure I'm buying on an up day. Whereas Pfizer is above. I wouldn't mind it. I just got to make sure I buy on a green day. And with AstraZeneca, a lot more volatility going on, I'd wait for that stock to go back above and show me more confirmation. Anybody have any questions on my coronavirus stories? All right, and again, the stocks are set up by way of VST, so the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing are at the top of the list, sorted all the way down. All right, so let's do this real quick. If you're new to the channel or new to our Trending Thursdays, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, especially if you like the content. Especially if you like the content. We do this every week on YouTube Live, all right? If you like it, please subscribe. If you like what you see, hit the like button as well. That's always a good thing. And I should do it. You need to smash the like button, but it's not the same thing. Not the same thing. That's all right. It's all right. So for all of you who are signing up right now or subscribing to the channel, thank you for doing so. And if you want to be able to do what we're doing here right now, folks, 99 cents gets you in to the software for 30 days. And you can do this same analysis that we're doing right now. Trying to see calls, swing trading, you'll love it. Anybody else have anything to say about GSK and VIR Biotech had good results on their COVID trust today? Comment. I don't know much about, so GlaxoSmithKline is probably GSK. I don't know who VIR is. I'd have to look into them. I'd have to look into a nailish. I know that more and more companies are going to come to the table to get their vaccine out in front of the U.S. people. We'll see, but I will have to take a look at them. All right. Yeah, Boston broke the channel on confirmation day. Nice stock. Oh, okay. All right. So let's get into the next story. Let's go to my next story. What's my next story? Oh, how many of you are ready to start traveling? Say me. How many of you are ready to start traveling? Type of me in the room. I'll give you a couple of seconds while I'm drinking all this shots of caffeine. How many of you are ready to start traveling? There you go, Joe. Thank you, Joey. All right, there we go. So let's talk about travel stocks. That has been the most beat up industry since the pandemic because nobody's flying. So let's talk about that. Next story is about my travel stocks. Airfares stay weak as business bookings lag leisure. What do you think the biggest part of air travel was? I'm going to put that out there. It was business travel. And I think that air travel has been forever changed because I don't think that business travel will reach the levels that it had pre-pandemic. Why? Because Zoom, you can still conduct business across the seas by way of Zoom. So now, is it necessary to send your best salesperson overseas to close a deal? No. Zoom is proven to be a viable alternative to having to show up in person to close a sales deal. So I think that the business travel will forever be changed because of that. Now, what's the next biggest segment of air travel? Vacations, leisure. Are we ready to really get on top of leisure yet? Well, as more and more people get inoculated, people are going to be feeling safer to travel. All right, it's going to happen because people want to travel. All right, but what was one of my stories? one of my stories was U.S. extends $14 billion lifeline to airlines. Well, that's important because the airlines, this is not the first stimulus they got. I believe this is the second stimulus that they've gotten because they are losing a ton of money every month. And the government's trying to keep them in business. So that story about the airlines getting money, but airfares stay weak. Why? Because nobody's flying. Now, I'm getting ready I'm getting ready to do a missions trip for my church to Guatemala. That's in June. All right. And I'm looking at flights. I'm looking at American and round trip flights to and from Guatemala is like $500 round trip. And I'm like, say what? Let me see. This is what I said.
Good googly muggly.
That's what I said when I saw that flight. It's like $500 round trip. So I'm getting ready to book my flight to go to Guatemala. But I think that is happening. This story shows that. All right. This story shows that airfares are weak. Couple that with American raises $10 billion by betting on vacation splurges. Man, Americans going all in. While glamour of the 1950 jet age isn't coming back, American Airlines has its money on passengers getting giddy about leisure travel again once the threat of the pandemic subsides. So American Airline is going all in, trying to get ready. And, I think that we're going to have an airline war, price war, to get everybody they can to fly on their airlines. It's going to happen. No, I'm not flying out of Tijuana. I'm flying I think I'm flying from here to Dallas and then from Dallas to Guatemala. Does Greyhound go to Guatemala? Hey, does Greyhound go to Guatemala? Actually, it can, couldn't it? It's got to go through Mexico and keep on going down and down and down and down. That's a long trip. I think it really can drive down to Guatemala. Hey, can we really drive straight down to Guatemala? There's no water. I think you can. I don't know. Anyway, that would be a long drive. I'm not driving it. But American is all in. I know Ebert is talking about $99 fares. They're going to start battling big time. Now, on the other side, the flip side of that is people willing to get back on cruises. True, right? Cruise stocks looking attractive as vaccines rise. I've never been on a cruise, believe it or not. I've never, ever been on a cruise. But I've been on a big military. I've been on an LST, not nearly as big as a cruise line. But cruise lines, that's the other side of travel. They're getting ready to go rock and roll. People are ready to start getting back on the boats, too. So let's look at I got one more. Norwegian cruise stock rallies after signs of robust pent-up demand for future cruises. So between the airlines, between the cruise lines, they're getting ready. Well, they've been beaten up the most, and they could be possibilities of stocks to take a look at. So let's go take a look at them.
You can drive there 7 hours.
You can drive to Guatemala in 47 hours? I'm not driving that. You can drive. I just sleep. And Joey's showing me the trip. Wow. You really could drive there in 47 hours.
600 miles.
That's a lot of miles. I'm not driving that. That's too much. Ooh-wee. It's called the Pan American Highway, Lubin says. It's called the Pan American Highway. That's kind of cool. I'm not driving it.
85 south, baby.
Is 85 south? What was 95 south? No, that was Tag Team. What was the song that 95 south did? I don't remember. All right. So let's go take a look at my travel stocks. If you want to get into that space in one fell swoop with one, here's an ETF that looks at airlines. I'm trying to find an ETF for cruise lines. I don't know if there's one that exists, but it's something that I'm looking into. All right, so for the airlines, there's jets. Here's American Airline. What else am I looking at? CCL. I didn't do Norwegian, is not on here. That's fine. But I've got an airline, I've got an ETF for the airline, and I have a cruise ship. Let's analyze them real quick. American Airlines trading at $22 with a value of $150. That makes sense. The industry got smoked, so the value on the stock got beat the heck. Carnival 27 is trading at $27.56 with a value of $16.38. Same thing. Let's go look at the analysis, though. Wow. American Airlines, upside potential, not there. It is as low as you can get. because the airline industry got beat up that much. The upside potential in CCL or Carnival Cruise is a little better, but still below the value of 1. Safety. Neither one of these stocks are safe. Both relative safeties are below 1, but American Airlines is getting close to the value of 1, but both of them are in an uptrend. Relative timing shows me that both of them are currently in an uptrend. Because of what went on with the pandemic, the earnings got smoked and the earnings growth got smoked. Again, that makes sense. Let's right-click, view the stocks. Let's start off with Jets, which looks at all of the airlines in one ticker symbol. I love this as a great way to get on board without having to commit to Delta or Southwest or American. Here's an ETF that looks at all of them, and look at where it's at right now. Today's wick is right at the high of 27.32. I would look to get in about 12 cents higher than the high. The stock is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Coming off support, there's another hammer. Stock's price moving up. Volume is okay. I like this as a possibility, especially knowing that the industry has been beaten up. And if people are getting ready to start to go on airplanes, Jets might be a good play. Let's move with American Airlines. Looks just like Jets, above the 20-day exponential moving average, right at resistance. Watch the earnings per share and earnings growth. Again, that plays into the picture but doesn't play into their picture. The pandemic has decimated the earnings on American Airlines. So what I'm really looking at now is the potential of the stock to go back up, especially knowing that people are getting ready to start flying again. As long as the vaccines still are going out there. I'd look to get in about 12 cents higher than the 22.52 high price. And then Carnival Cruise, same kind of scenario. All of these are rising, sitting right at a level of resistance. I'm looking to see if the stocks can break above those levels of resistance before I start to buy. All right. Anybody have any questions on the airlines? T. Cerveja says, also, all U.S. airlines are required to be part of the, what is that? To be part of the Civil Reserve Air Fleet? I didn't know that. Oh, wow. And Tank says that drive is a super dangerous drive. Oh, you can drive it. All right. Joey's going to drive it and come back and report to you guys. Flag on Jets. Let's go see if there's a flag on Jets. Could be. Here would be the poll. Let me see if I'm drawing this right. Could be. Oh, look at that. Could be. That would be the flag poll. So let me give you some upside potential here. Let me go from the low. Oh man, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a little something here. Let's go from the low, freehand line. Let's draw this line up. Low. Oh, baby, we got low, 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 low. Actually, I could just do it this way. What was the low price? The low price was $21.14. What was the high? $21.14. $27.35. $27.32. $21.14. $6.48. $48.46. That is, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. That's not what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to subtract it. You idiot, Glenn. 27, 32, 21, 14, that's 8, that's 0, that's 6. $6.08. So potentially this stock has got an upside potential of 27, 32, 6, 08, 10, 4, 13. Looks like it's got a potential to 53.40. That would be my price target. Woo! So it could be.
You're going to get your toes out.
And get my toes out for what? You don't count? Yeah, no. So I think that this actually has a potential up to $53.40. All right. Glenn, quick question. Why are some green candles hollow and some filled in? All right. Nope. A green candle that's hollow means that the price started at the bottom of the candle and rose. Look at it as a shade. You open a shade to let the sun in, right? So the price started at the bottom and went up. Just use the shade the opposite direction. Filled candles means the stock price started at the top of the candle, we closed the shade, and the price finished at the bottom of the candle. All right, so there you go. So I actually can give a price target on that based upon the flagpole, which is this line, right here, flagpole, and there's the flag. So that was a good call. Who said that? That was Ebert. No, that wasn't Ebert. Who was the one that just said about, is that a flag? Who said it was a flag? Oh, whoever it was. There you go. It could be setting up, and that's a price target. Any other questions? Any other questions? Huh? Flag on the, it was Charles that said, was that a flag on jets? All right, and I'm glad you caught that, and I'm glad I was able to explain it. All right, hopefully that makes sense. $6 on top of 27 is 33, not 53. Oh, crap. $6. See, I'm terrible. It's 33, not 53. I don't know why. Wow. I should have taken off my shoes. You're right, Mark. It's 33. It's 33. Wow. Why do I like XROF? Because it's an industry disruptor in regards to a certain degree, perfect the electric motor. That unit that they have, that coil unit for the electric motor, everybody's going to EVs. They're going to have to go through XROF if they can get this patent-pending device to work on any electric motor. That's why I like XROF. That's why I like XROF. All right. No more questions? Showing an undershirt isn't much of a flag. Did I show? I ain't got no. Did I show an undershirt? Okay. There you go. All right. Let's go to my next story. We looked at all of the stocks. I thank you for those questions. Will oil affect the airlines? Absolutely. If airlines start flying, what do you think oil is going to do? It's going to be a demand in oil. What have I always said about oil? What moves oil? Demand. And if airlines and cruise ships start sailing, that's going to pick up big time demand on oil. All right. Let's get to my next story. My next story, baby. What do I got going on? Oh, FAANG stocks. Me likey FAANG stocks. FAANG stocks back as inflation worries wane. Apple leads with 1.18. That was 5 hours ago. That was today. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Thank you for that, Tank. Everybody knows what Glenn's favorite stock in the whole wide world is. All right? Anybody type it in. I'm giving you a couple of seconds while I drink some more espresso. Everybody knows what Glenn's favorite stock in the whole wide world is. Type it in the room. That's right. Really, Joey? All right. It's Apple. Everybody knows it's Apple. It's one of the FAANG stocks. And FAANG stocks, no, Moderna's number 2. Moderna's number 2. Apple is my favorite stock in the whole wide world, but I'm not in love with Apple. I know when to hold them and I know when to fold them. I know when to get in and out of Apple, but Apple to me is just one of the best companies. And Cafe Bustelo will be number 3. Cafe Bustelo will be number 3. All right. FAANG stocks are a go-to stock when markets are doing well. Why? Because they've proven themselves time and time again that these are the companies that make money. Oh, look, you just saw it. That's Microsoft. Well, they're not in it. I'm skipping that out. I don't want to see that because they're not talking about Apple. But FAANG stocks are a go-to place where people go to when they're looking for stocks that have steady, upward rising mobility. So let's go take a look at those. So, what's the top stock in here? Google. What's the second best stock in here? Facebook. What is FAANG made up of? Listen to the names. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. FAANG. That's what makes up FAANG stock. So, Google is the top stock in our watch list by VST. Facebook is number 2. Netflix, Amazon, and there's Apple. So they, with the exception of Apple, remember I said I love Apple, but I'm not in love with Apple. There's a good time and a bad time to be in Apple. Let's analyze them. Google. Google actually is fairly valued right now, 2106 with a value of 2154. Looking at Facebook, Also undervalued, 275 compared to 407 value. Netflix overvalued though at 517, trading at 517 with a value of 374. Amazon trading at 3,000, way overvalued with a value of 1827. Apple's at 121 with a value of 116, slightly overvalued. Let's analyze the upside potential. Every one of these stocks have good upside potential to go up against a AAA corporate bond. Long term, these are stocks you want to hold. Safety, every single one of these stocks have a relative safety above 1. These are not risky stocks. Now, not every one of these are in an uptrend right now, and there's only 2 that are, Google and Facebook. Notice that Netflix, not in an uptrend. Amazon, not in an uptrend. Apple, not in an uptrend. Let's talk about the earnings side. They've all got positive earnings, and they all grow their earnings at a double-digit earnings growth rate. Now you get a feeling of why FAANG stocks are go-to stocks. All right, and that's why they have their own group listing as FAANG stocks. All right, let's right-click, view the stock graph. Let's go peep them out. Google, a little bit of consolidation above the 20-day exponential moving average. Nice up day today. Look at that rising earnings growth rate. Google's a good play. Let's see if it can break out of that level of the high first. Now, Facebook, on the other hand, is a little bit more erratic. All right, but currently above the 20-day exponential moving average, breaking through a couple of different levels of resistance. Earnings and earnings growth rate is rising, but compared to Google, Facebook is a little bit more volatile, all right, in that space. Next one, Netflix. Man, you would think that Netflix would have been rocking and rolling. Why? Man, you got Netflix? I got Netflix. I got everything. I got everything and cable. Why? Why? That's what I need when it comes. I've got cable and just about every streaming service. I don't know why. Huh? Joey says it's because I got money to burn. Well, yeah. Let me show you all this money I got right here.
Keep on the desk.
Yeah, I just keep the money on the desk. Yeah. All right. So anyway, Netflix is a little bit more volatile than Google as well. Right at that level of resistance at 518.56. Love the rising earnings per share. Love the rising earnings growth. But I'd really like to see the stock both break above that level of resistance and break above that 20-day exponential moving average. What else is in here? Amazon. Amazon is right at that level of the 20-day. What is that? Another hammer. All right, another hammer. Look at that and look at the stock. I think the body of that needs to be a little bigger. That's more of a dragonfly doji more so than a hammer. But look at that. And normally those happen at market tops or stock tops. But look at it. I'd like to see it break above that 20-day exponential moving average before I buy it. And the last one, Apple. Apple's got no reversal pattern, but clearly below the 20-day. If the FAANG stocks are moving, I would only take a look at the stocks like none of them yet. Google's at least above the 20-day exponential moving average. I'd like to see it break above. They're rising, but they may not be the best opportunities to buy yet. Let the stock come to you and plan your trade right. All right. Anybody got any questions in regards to my FAANG story? Anybody? Bueller. This is the most there are in most hedge funds. And that's also true, Drew. That is also true. All right. I'm going to say it again. If you like the commentary that we got going on right now, hit the like button. How many likes we got, Joey? 96. Really? How many people we got? Dude, nobody's liking the comment. What is up with y'all not hitting the like button today? I can't make you do it. We got I need 300 likes today. All right, can we do that? Can we get 300 likes today? If you like what you hear, especially if you're new and you like the content, hit the like button, folks. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All right, so I want to see if we get to 300 likes today. I really want to do. Thank you, sir, for T. Cerveja says, thank you, sir, for all you do. I like that. Good play on words. Good play on words. I want 300 likes today. That tells me that you like it. Now, if I'm off my game and it's not worth it, then you ain't got to like it. And that's all right. I can take that. Some days I'm not as good as other days. Hell, I got me a whole bunch of caffeine right now with a shot of espresso. Woo-wee! All right. I'm going to drink some more of it, by the way. that's some good coffee right there. Can I get your initials to your favorite stock? AAPL is my favorite stock, if that's what you're looking. I'm with you, Ebert. I got 443 people, only 159. I want to get 300 likes. All right, if there's no more on the FAANG stock, I'm always a fan of FAANG stocks, folks. And you know something? I'm going to show you something else. FANGU. If you, oh really? How do you do that? FNGU? There it is. If you want to play the FAANG stocks in one ticker symbol, here's an ETF for you. It's a triple leverage ETF, though. I can play all of the FAANG stocks in one ticker symbol, and let's go take a look at it. If you want to do that instead of playing the individual stocks, how about this? It's only 31 bucks. It's breaking through a level of resistance right now at 30.84. I'd love to see it break above that level of 20-day. This is a great way to play the FAANG stocks all in one fell swoop. All right, all in one fell swoop. The lithium industry right now, mellow, is now. If you want to play the lithium industry, why? Because EVs are rocking and rolling. Actually, mellow, you segue me into my next story. My next story is about clean energy electric vehicles. So, mellow, where did you go? Music by Mellow says, when is a good time to get into lithium industry? Well, let's talk about that. Chinese EV trio Hong Kong listings this year to raise a combined $5 billion. 3 companies trying to combine together to get on the Hong Kong exchange. NIO's in the midst of them. So, Mellow, all of these EV electric vehicle companies use lithium batteries. I just did a story on a stock called Atomony, U.S. Atomony, Autonomy, one of the, however you say it, and it talks about a piece of mineral that can be used in this space. Folks, before I go on, if you're only here on Trending Thursday, that's great. But I do a lot of content on this YouTube channel. Check it out. AUMY was a stock that I just put out a video on. It just went up. Check it out because it also comes into this space of electric vehicles and how it can be utilized to even make it better. It's UAMY. Thank you. UAMY. Go check out that video after we're finished with Trending Thursday. Pump up that. Go view that. And I think you'll be very interested. So, Mello, I'm with you. That whole space, that lithium space, is a hot space that goes along with the cars right now. All right? So just keep that in mind. All right. Now, getting ready to go. NIO is one of those companies that's getting ready to be hopefully listed on the Hong Kong exchange. It's going to give them more exposure. That gives them more exposure for people to buy and grow that company. Then on the other side, I got Tesla. Tesla's China-made Model Y takes off despite holiday car sales slump. Tesla and NIO are going at it. NIO is supposedly the Tesla in China because NIO is in China. Tesla, of course, is in the U.S., but Tesla is doing it, man. They've got the infrastructure bigger than NIO to try to hold NIO down, but NIO's going to do its thing. NIO's going to do its thing, but Tesla is making moves. Again, lithium batteries, Mello. All right. Plug is another one. Blink is another one. BLNK. There's a lot that is plugged into clean energy. And I've done videos. Go check them out. I've done a video on NIO. I've done a couple of videos on NIO. Folks, a lot of the stocks that we talk about in here, I've done individual videos on this channel. Go look at them. Go look at them. And if you've never commented on them, comment on them. Comment on them. We take a lot of time. And I do a lot of work to put out a lot of good content on this YouTube channel. All right. So let's go take a look at these two. Tesla and NIO. Where's NIO? Wow. All the way at the bottom. He's all the way at the bottom. All right. Compared to Tesla, which is number 3 in the list. All right. Which video on I did a video on NIO. Can you link that one? Could you find it and link it?
Yeah. Put your.
Okay, Joey already put the link for the FAANG video. He's going to see Mary if he can put the video of NEO up there. Where to look at it? On this channel. You're on YouTube right now. If you go to the VectorVest YouTube channel, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to all the new content that comes out. That way you'll see these videos as they come out. All right, so, and Baidu is another one. There's a lot in this space. I've done videos here on YouTube in Trending Thursdays on many of these different companies. Tesla, overvalued, 691, value of 164. NEO, 45 with a value of 648. Because this space is so hot, these companies are rising exponentially because the perception of these vehicles is astronomical. I look at the relative value upside potential on Tesla as above 1 on our relative value scale, whereas NEO, it is not. Safety on Tesla is at 1.41. Tesla is not only a stock that should outperform a AAA corporate bond, but it's a safe stock. NEO is right on the cusp. What's hurting it right now? Tesla is not going up right now. Neither is NEO. How about NEO is a sell, whereas Tesla is a buy. The earnings growth rate on Tesla is at 47%. It's got good earnings per share. NEO grows their earnings at 23%. That negative 11 cents is going to go away probably pretty soon because they're doing a good job growing their earnings. All right, let's go take a look at the stocks. View the stock graph. Remember I told you both of them were in a downtrend? How about NEO? There's another candlestick. There's another hammer. Look at that rise. I'd look at NEO once it gets above the 20-day exponential moving average. Like the earnings per share. I like the earnings growth. That's good. Tesla, on the other hand, got smoked. Got smoked like a pound of bacon. Ooh-wee. It really did. Ooh-wee. And now it's right at that 20-day exponential moving average. It could be presenting a buying opportunity. I'd like to see the stock go above the 20-day exponential moving average. What'd you say? What's that? Was he going ooh-wee? What did he say? Stop sneezing, Todd. All right. Todd Shaver sits across the office from me. So, yeah, I heard that, Todd. And everybody on YouTube heard that too. All right. You can't always believe what Chinese companies say about their profits. I don't disagree with you, Paul. But if the numbers are showing that NEO is selling cars, I'm going to go with the news. I'm just going to talk to you about what I see and go from there. The analysis is what you got right here. So I can still analyze the company, and I'm saying that right now it is set up. It's set up to start to be a buying opportunity. I just put that out. Do I like bacon? Man, that's a silly question to ask because I love me some bacon. Ooh-wee. My wife says, sometimes she says, well, I don't know what to make for dinner. I say, just make a couple of pounds of bacon. I'll be just fine. That's how much I love bacon. Why NEO has low RV but high CI? Oh, two different things. Leonardo, relative value. Let me go talk about that real quick. Relative value, low RV, relative value tells me that the stock's upside potential as compared to a AAA corporate bond. With a value of 0.61 long-term over the next 1 to 3 years, this stock should not outperform a AAA corporate bond. Now, when you say CI is the comfort index. It looks at the stock's ability to withstand long and lengthy price declines. Let's go take a look at them again. Long and lengthy price declines. So even though NEO is in, and that's a long and lengthy price decline, I'm thinking that if I put on CI, I bet you CI is falling. Capital appreciation, let's go. I bet you that it's falling. And there it is. That makes sense. That's a long or lengthy price decline. And CI is falling. It used to be much higher than that, but it's falling. Now, even though it's starting to rise again, that's fine, but it is falling off of its levels of a high. Does that make sense, Leonardo? All right. Does that make sense? The CI still looks high, but it's way off of where it was. It's way off where it was. Now, when CI was rising, the stock's price didn't pull back hard. The stock's price didn't pull back hard. But now it pulled back hard because of the big pullback in the price. All right. Thank you for that, Tanker. I appreciate it. if growth is positive and earnings per share is negative, does that mean that the earnings are growing or falling? If growth is positive and earnings per share is negative, so growth, where did I have one? Earnings per share is negative, but growth is positive. How about the earnings are growing over the last 3 months? Earnings growth rate means that they're growing their earnings. It's still negative, but it's a lot less negative than when it was back here at 18 cents. At 18 cents. All right? So here we go. All right. That's all my stories. I'm at 3:05. I didn't want to hear you. I didn't want to hear your mouth later. Your M-O-U-T. I didn't want to hear your mouth later. I know it was coming. All right. I'm done with all my stories. CCIV is another great stock in the EV space. I'm all about that. I think I'm going to do a story soon on CCIV. All right. You know what time it is? It's time for me to analyze your stocks, baby. Woo! Let's go start putting them stocks. Start putting those stocks in. Mike. CCIV, I got you. CCIV.
Did you write down the one tanker cat? Was it?
I wrote down a couple of stocks. I don't remember what they were. I got so much. Oh, OGI. Someone said GRWG. Okay. You go take it from there, Joey. OILK. I got that one from Tanker. Oh my God, we don't track it, Tanker. Oh my gosh, Michael Burry shorting Tesla. He's an influencer. I'm sure you watched the movie about The Big Short. Listen, I don't try to speculate on what's going on any stock.
NMCI.
NMCI.
Yep.
NM.
MCI.
CI. Okay.
CLVR.
CLVR.
CALX.
CALX.
LWR.
FLWR. Is that 1-800-Flowers? No, I don't have FLWR.
WMD.
Walmart. Okay.
Wave.
Airline. Spirit.
O.
Sino. PLTR. APPS. They just sold off a portion of their business. Apps did. Somebody sent me an email that, in regards to straighten that out. They sold off a piece of their business. COWM. Okay. CASA. My Casa, Su Casa.
And Love.
Loves. That's another airline, Southwest. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Joey's going to put a link in the room for everyone that we didn't put on. Tanker says, love sack, just a little old place where we can get together. Anyway, any stock that we did not pull up today, Joey's going to put a link in the room for a free stock analysis. Click on that, type your stock in, and we'll give you an analysis on your stock. IMPUI, I think, is a great stock for, what is it, titanium? Is it titanium? IMPUI, what is that? Platinum. I like that stock. I'm a big fan. I've made a lot of money on IMPUI. No, the stock. Oh, Love Stack. Is that what you said? Oh, you didn't want me to sing it? Oh. Workhorses in the space. All right, let me go take a look at these stocks that I do have. But there's a link in there for you to get free stock analysis on any of the stocks. All right, I'm going to change this layout. What do I want? I want the swing side. I'm already on the swing side. Good. All right, so on my graph, I got support resistance, 20-day exponential moving average, volume with a 20-period moving average of volume, earnings, and earnings growth rate. All right, let's go bust a move on this. So Love, airline, let's take that off. Airline is doing what right now? Consolidating. Clearly above the 20-day, and has been. I love that. That could have been a great opportunity to get in from that perspective. Above, I'm going to add something. I don't know why I don't have RT on here. There we go. And draw my levels at 1. Somewhere down here. When the RT goes above the value of 1, the stock's in an uptrend. I like the combination here when the 20-day exponential moving average. Dang, what the heck? Where the 20, there we go, 1. Right? Why is that acting a fool? All right. When the stock's price went above the 20-day exponential moving average and the stock's price went above the 20-day moving average and RT went above 1, that was a great opportunity. I like using the two of these together. And again, for those of you who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software, you can do the same thing. 99 cents buys you into a 30-day subscription, a 30-day trial to the software. Since that's a stock that I did a video on. I still like it. I think I need to do an update to that stock video. All right, so I like the consolidation. I'd like to see it break above the 20-day exponential moving average. Walmart, below the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings per share is higher than it was 3 months ago, but look at the earnings growth. They're not growing their earnings. Interesting that they're not. It's the biggest retailer, brick and mortar store. Interesting that they're not growing their earnings. I don't have an explanation for that. Earnings per share is growing up, but if earnings growth is falling, something's going to tell me that earnings is going to fall as well. I got to keep my eye on that. Did find a level of support, bounced above it. I'd like to see it break above that level of the 20-day exponential moving average before I buy. RT is not above 1. I'd like to see when the RT gets back above 1, use that in combination with the 20-day exponential moving average, folks. That's a great way to know when to enter into the stock. All right, let's go to the next stock. What do I have? Cowen. Big pull down today, a little bit of a bearish engulfing. I don't know if that was bad news that pushed it down. The stock is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. I wouldn't panic if I own it until it breaks through this level of support. This level of support is sitting at 38.21. If it falls below that, that's a good opportunity to take some off the table, even though it's above the 20-day exponential moving average. Don't give it all back. Use that level of support. VectorVest draws these lines for you automatically. Use that level of support as a way to take some off the table. I like the earnings per share. I like the earnings growth rate. RT is above 1. I like everything. I don't know what happened with the stock today. All right? I don't know what happened with the stock today, but that's at least a red flag. That's at least a red flag. All right, next one, Sino. Woo-wee, I like that. It ran. Transportation service, it ran, it fell. That was a good, wow, look at that. Remember, folks, for those people I'm talking about the 99-cent trial, look at that. Broke below the 20-day, RT went below 1. Was that a beautiful setup? That was a good day to get out instead of riding it down now. Now what's happening? Woo-wee. Stock's price goes above the 20-day and RT is above 1. This could be setting up beautifully. Could be setting up beautifully right there and give you at least to a profit target of 11.15. That may not be a bad buy, folks. Broke above resistance, the 20-day exponential moving average, and RT went above 1. That may not be a bad play. All right, let's go to the next one. This is definitely moving higher. Bottom left to top right. Whoever gave me this stock, good stock, like it. Above the 20-day. Volume is pretty steady. Earnings is growing. Earnings growth rate is growing, and the stock is in an uptrend. I like that graph. I like that graph. What I buy now, I'd buy about 12 cents higher than the high to make sure I'm buying into a rising stock. Spirit Airlines, currently in sideways moving consolidation. It is above the 20-day. I'd like to see the stock break above that level of resistance. Earnings growth, remember on these airlines, earnings and earnings growth is not going to look so good because they've been beaten up. Next stock, apps. Again, news today is that they sold off a portion of their business. Let's take that off. They did sell off a portion of the business, upward move, bounced off support, going up. Profit target sitting at about 102 because that's the most recent high. Volume is pretty steady, nicely above the average volume. Earnings per share is growing. Earnings growth is growing. The RT just went back above 1. Apps is setting up nicely. Go to the next one, OGI. Something tells me that's news-driven. The stock had been going down. I don't know what happened. I don't want to look at the news. The stock's price went up on big volume. That really tells me it's news-driven. Keep your eye on this, though. Earnings per share is falling. Earnings growth is falling. RT is recently above 1. That's because of the price move. But long-term, I'm not feeling this. Is a marijuana stock. I'm not feeling it long-term. This is more of a trade. Take the money off the table when you can get it. Another marijuana stock. Earnings is growing. Earnings growth is pretty flat. I'd rather this stock in the marijuana space than the OGI, based on the graph. I'd like to see the stock's price close above that 20-day exponential moving average. It does have headwinds sitting at 53.70, which is the most recent level of resistance. All right, stock's about to go RT above 1. I'm going to do something else. Let's go make that area. Makes it cooler to look at. The stock's price is about to break above 1 on the RT, which tells me that the stock would be in an uptrend, but that would be a profit target sitting at 53.70, even if it goes above the 20-day exponential moving average. Casa, mi casa, su casa. Joey, mi casa, su casa. Okay, so big wick right here. That was profit taking. The stock's price closed on 218 at 852. Stock's price next day went up to $13. Yeah, that was profit taking, and the stock went back down. Oh, it's setting up. Price just broke above a level of resistance at 840, now above the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings per share is higher than it was 3 months ago. Earnings growth rate higher than it was. This could be setting up. Profit target sitting at about $13.15. That's a good move. You got some room to make some money on that. I do like that. Jemiah. This is a stock that's been coming up in our jockey club every day to look at. Stock hammer. Nicely moving up, coming off a level of support above the 20-day. Earnings is higher than it was 3 months ago. Growth is higher than it was 3 months ago, and RT went above 1. That could be setting up. Profit target sitting at the high at about 69. That's a good little, that's $20. That's a good little move. I wouldn't mind that, especially bouncing off RT going above 1. That may not be a bad looking trade. What else? Woo! Who gave me that stock? NMCI. Look at that. Now, all that looks rosy ain't pretty. There's something like all that sparkles ain't, what is it? All that glitters ain't gold. All right, there we go. All that glitters ain't gold. Transportation ship, bottom left, top right. Love it. Above the 20-day exponential moving average. Volume is okay. Earnings per share is lower than it was 3 months ago. Earnings growth, lower than it was 3 months ago. Any of you holding this stock? All right, this is a very important segment right here. Any of you holding this stock, type it in the room. I need to show you something. Anybody holding this stock? Anybody? All right, this is what I would do for you if you are holding this stock. I'm going to change the moving averages for a second. Remember, earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Instead of using the 20-day exponential, I would use the 3 and the 8. I would use the 3 and the 8, and I would use the 8 exponential moving average as a way to get out. Does anybody hear me? All right, does anybody hear me? Now, I don't know what's going on behind the company. I'm just looking at the graph. I don't know what's going on with the company. I'm just looking at the graph. And after I look at the graph, I see the stock's price is moving up nicely, but earnings is falling, earnings growth is falling. I'm going to use a tighter stop to get me out of the stock. All right, I'm definitely going to use a tighter stop to get me out of the stock. Someone says that I think that the stock is going to go way higher. Let it. If it does, it does. But if it doesn't, based on earnings and earnings growth, I'm going to tell you to use something like an 8 exponential moving average. My house is your house. I know that, Lou. I know that. I can speak a little Spanish, a little bit. My mom is Puerto Rican, so I can speak a little Spanish, a little bit. All right, next one, Palantir. I like the concept of this stock. Somehow or another, this stock is it's just not getting the play it should. They put out a lot of information. They crunch the information. They sell that crunched information for whatever you want to use it for. They are working with our government as far as the security, like FBI, CIA type stuff. I don't know why this stock is not taking off the way it should, but as of right now, stock hammer, going above the 20 exponential moving average. I'd like to see RT go above 1, but if you take the stock now, there's your profit target in about 30, 34. All right? If it gets to that, I'd take half of it off if the stock price continues to rise. But this company is, I think it really, in theory, is a good company. They've gotten a couple of contracts outside of the country for their services, as well as working with our security as well, our security services. So I don't have a definitive answer of why this is happening. All right, let's go to the next stock. Clover. It's above. It's about to go above the 20-day. Let's see what happens with RT. RT just went above 1. If the stock's price rises 12 cents higher than today's high tomorrow, I would think about getting into it. Watch the earnings, though. Earnings are falling even though earnings growth rate is rising. Be careful with that. Next stock, CCIV. I like the SPAC. I'm about to do a SPAC. Did I do it already? I did the SPAC video. There's a SPAC video coming out tonight for those of you who want to learn more about SPACs and get a better understanding. I just put out a SPAC video. Joey's going to release it this evening about 6. I'm telling you, folks, if you don't look at the other content that we have on YouTube, you're missing out on the boat. How many likes did we get so far?
205.
Well, I didn't get to 300. That's all right. That's all right. I'm going to still drink my coffee. I wanted 300, maybe, and we didn't seem to get it, and that's all right. You think I was off my game today, Joey?
They thought you were off.
I think they thought that I was off my game. All right, it's all right. It is what it is. CCIV, below the 20-day exponential moving average, does moving higher. I'd like to see it break above the 20-day exponential moving average. I also would like to see RT go above 1. Last stock, wow, love this stock. This is a really good stock. Platinum, this is a great company in the mining space. It has made me a lot of money over the years. It's relatively still low price, above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT is above 1, rising earnings growth rate. I would like to buy it about 5 cents higher than that high. And there we go. That's all my stocks today. You guys put up some good stocks today. All right. Thank you for being here. I'll take the likes as they come. Whatever's there is whatever's there. You know me, I am never going to twist arms to get that. If you're new and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm still seeing more non-subscribers looking at the content than subscribers. Shouldn't be that way. Share this stuff with your people on your, all of the videos that you see on here, Mary. Once you get to look at some of these videos, you can share those videos with your friends. Let them take a look at what we're doing. All right? We could be helping them too. I love doing these videos. I love doing the live stream that we do every Thursday. I think we've developed a beautiful community with VV Nation, and I appreciate it. Not off your line today, says Sandy. I don't know. I'm just saying I didn't get as many likes as I wanted to, and that's all right. Maybe not to everybody I was on my game. Look, I'll tell you this: I had a lot of coffee. I only had 1 shot of espresso. Maybe next week I need to get about 2 or 3 shots of espresso. All right, maybe next week we're gonna go back to Starbucks. I might get 2 or 3 shots of espresso.
No sleep till Saturday.
And I'll probably no sleep till Saturday. Yeah, that's the way it'll be. No sleep till Saturday. All right, so next week, since I didn't get 300 likes, I'm going to pump it up next week. 3 shots. 3 shots of espresso. Let's see if you can handle that. So with that, folks, thank you for being here. Remember to share this stuff. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Comment, all of that stuff. We want you go look at the other YouTube content that we have out there as well. All right. So with that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to the whole contingent of Hawaiian people or Hawaiian stock group that's here. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Salam, shalom, namaste. Until the next time, folks. See ya.